Hi, Dennis, and I'm sorry to take a little while to get to you, but here's some video feedback for Milestone 1, which is the print ad. And I'm glad we communicated. Just want to let you know that, the next, what is it now, 12 days? Oops. Well, it just came up. There's your PDF file, PSD file. Anyway, in the next 12 days, don't hesitate to reach out or communicate, and we'll get you through the term. Okay, so here's what I get. Here we go. Here is your page ad. Now, I know that it probably, in the project requirements, there's probably no stated requirement to have it vertical. But I would suggest that you orient it vertically, unless it's, way too much trouble to reorganize. And, but okay, let me not get lost in the details before I say, first of all, technically it's really well done, visually also. And I like the background image, a little surreal, but it goes really well with the corporate palette. And you're very sensitive to color, it looks like. I like that you put things, the contact information on a single line at the bottom. Keep it that way if you do reorient it for vertical format. It could be a bit smaller, and be careful of your margins, particularly critical in print design, because most publications are trimmed. You don't want to trim off descenders or any part of the type. Okay, in terms of layout, it's good that you've clustered things towards the middle here. It does make a focal point about here, but I'm finding that it needs a little structure, and by that I mean perhaps consider a very simple grid to lay things out on. You have this cluster of type centered, and then this is staggered, and this is centered within the whole arrangement, and then this is also centered, but on a different axis. So maybe if you're going to center type, use one axis to center it on. I would. These are just suggestions. Normally students like critical feedback as well as compliments, and so I want to go back to saying that under the circumstances, and even under normal circumstances, this is a great job, Dennis. I like these boxes, but if at all possible, avoid outlining things. So I'm thinking that you don't need this pale blue outline, and then maybe one of them could bleed off the left, and they could be staggered in. Be aware of the angles, the sort of the general angles in a composition. Here I see this strong diagonal. This, of course, is a strong line too. You can use those axes that appear in the image to align type. And then with regard to type, hey, I'm glad you addressed the present, because I'm wondering if if we're all thinking what relevance is there in a resort, advertising for a resort without being oblivious of what's going on today. Okay, back to typography. I would limit the number of sizes you've used. I count quite a few. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See if you can get it down to 3 sizes of type, and perhaps. I am glad that you kept it all italic. I think it goes well with the slope of the logo script. With regard to that, I don't think this is the vector-based logo, and you can cut and paste from the corporate style guide, which is a PDF. If you open it up in Illustrator, you can just cut that logo and place it as vector art on your layer in your Photoshop file, and you may have done that. So I'm going over here, and I see that you've got things on their own layers. Bravo, and it includes some of the type effects too. Wow, this is really detailed, Dennis. Okay, I'm not going to belabor this. Just here's some visual feedback for you. See what you can do to incorporate it, but I certainly understand if not. All right, take care.